Yes, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to All for United. This is All for United Uncut. Welcome aboard. How are you all doing? Drop us a comment. What you drinking? What you feeling about today? It's a decent result for us today. A point. Don't think too many of us can be in terrible mood. If we'd been offered a point at the start of the game, I think most of us would have taken that against a tough Chelsea side. But that's what we're discussing today. We're talking, as the thumbnail says, are we ready for Mr. Ralf Rangnick? Yes, I think that's how you pronounce it. Or is it Ragnick? I don't know. We'll go with it. Ragnarok, whatever it is. Some Thor title. Hope you're all doing well. Make sure to let us know what you think about the performance, whether we are ready for the new manager to come in, and whether some of these players need to start looking out for a couple of their spots. Before we do that, I'll give you this little intro for you to watch about the channel, like you don't already know. See you in a bit.
Click subscribe to get daily Manchester United content from passionate Reds, only on All for United.
Yes, you absolute psychopaths. Welcome back to All for United Uncut. How are we doing? What are we all drinking?
Water, for me.
I swear to God.
Nothing exciting.
Disappointing. What's James drinking?
Nothing. I've not even got water this time.
Well, clearly by that face.
See you later. Right. Well, what's everyone else drinking?
I got my favourite glass because I know you like it so much.
Jamie, what are you drinking?
Coke.
It's a Pinot.
Coke, right. That's all right. Connor?
I'm with Mark on the water, I'm afraid.
Sorry, so it's just James not drinking anything then. Sorry, James has been rejected from the stream. I'm joking. He's here now. Sorry, James.
Here he is.
Some smart people would have used that time to go grab a drink, but clearly that's not you.
You clearly lost then tonight, fella, and you didn't score, did you?
I don't want to talk about it. Move on.
We will talk about
very
it.
Happy actually. Go on. What happened?
Stu's currently not disheartened with me, so I don't want to change that.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it later in the show. That's what the viewers are here for. John's here, a new contributor to the channel. John,
yes,
he's joined the official list of contributors. I don't think I actually gave him a proper welcome, so welcome, John. I'm a busy man, you see. You know. Anyway, Jacob's here, always spotting him on other channels. The little lemon squash he's drinking. Bit weird.
Oh, okay.
Bit of a strange one. I thought you'd all be drinking hot drinks like me. Nice little brew. Spider-Man No Way Home coming out very soon. Tickets on sale tomorrow. I don't work for Sony. I don't know why I've just done that. Andrew Waugh's here, as always. Of course, he's here. Right, let's talk about the game. 1-1. Bit of a... it was a game that I thought lacked a little bit of quality, to be honest, because there was not a lot on either end. I mean, there was, obviously, I mean, you're going to look at the stats and go, what are you on about, Karthik? Chelsea had 20-odd shots on goal. Yeah, but it wasn't... I didn't feel like they were destined to go and score a goal because they just didn't have the shooting boots on. Maybe if Lukaku started the game, maybe they go and...
It's Timo Werner.
Exactly. So I'm not scared of him. But both goals were sort of gifted. So overall, a decent result in that. I mean, especially considering the circumstances. What did you guys think?
Not all at once.
Yeah, I
love this show. I don't have to ask anyone anything.
I didn't mind it actually. I didn't mind it. You kind of knew it was going to be one of those games that it was going to go one of two ways. We're going to absolutely get blown out the water, or we're going to come with something. And I know most of Twitter were saying we were poor, etc., yada yada yada. But look, football's about 90 minutes, 95 minutes. Sometimes you can play absolutely shite, be battered for pillar to post for 90 minutes, and win 1-0. Now, we could have done that. We could have got away with it, but I think it was a penalty. If it had been outfield, it would have been given. Absolutely no two ways about it. We've seen it time and time again. And so you just got to hold your hands up. I thought De Gea was pretty poor on the penalty, really, because you pretty know what Jorginho's going to do. You know where he's going to put it. He should have stayed up a bit longer, personally. I think he made Jorginho's mind up for him. But all in all, look, we've come away from Stamford Bridge. And I think pre-match, most fans would have taken a point. and I refuse to believe any other. And I think that most of us probably thought we'd end up losing 1 or 2-0. You know, if you know football, that's how you would see it. So
League leaders, you have to be happy with the draw.
yeah, of
especially
course.
away from home.
Yeah, I raised my eyebrows about the 3 in the midfield.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, which it's
Before we actually get into the midfield, I want to ask you all about. If for those of you who haven't seen it, obviously there was a big discussion between a certain Roy Keane and a Jamie Carragher post-match about this Ronaldo not pressing thing. And I did tweet about it a couple of days ago, actually. And then I'll repeat it here. Just because Ronaldo doesn't want to go and press doesn't mean United as a team can't go press. Pressing is not just running around for 90 minutes, right? Let's just put that into the universe. Pressing is not running around like a headless chicken. It's setting traps. It's closing down space, closing down options, and Ronaldo can tick 2 of those boxes. All he'd have to do is, let's say it's off a goal kick, Ronaldo can pick up one centre-back and go, right, you're not passing to him, force them that way, and the rest can go and press there. Simple. That's still being part of a pressing unit. So where does this narrative come from that just because Ronaldo doesn't press, Manchester United as a club can't go press? Aside from that.
I thought Graham Potter got it perfectly right yesterday. He was booed. The Brighton manager was booed off the pitch, and it's all about expectations. It's all about fan expectations. I said it before. Most of our fan base living in the 90s and the 2000s, living in the Ferguson area, they can't get past it. They can't get past Sir Alex.
That's coming from Stu.
I know, yeah, and you've got to start to get past him. You've got to start looking at where we are currently today. And actually, Roy Keane summed it up. Jamie Carragher went into his high-pitched, you must be joking, Ronaldo's here to win the title.
He's joking.
Yeah, and to be fair, Keane was absolutely spot on. If we win a cup of some description this season, the fans will be happy. They will be. Yeah. We are 2 or 3 years away from challenging for the title. It's as simple as that. Whether people
even aside from that, though, I'll go to someone other than Stu because he's just yapping my ear off. Sorry.
Sorry.
Ali's in the comments here, and he says you cannot bench your best player. What do we make of that decision? Forget whether he presses or not. The decision to bench Ronaldo. What did we think of that when the team first came out?
I think I was a little bit shocked that he wasn't starting. Obviously, he scored midweek. He is our best player on paper. But it's not always going to work like that. And I said this when Rangnick takes over. I don't think you're always going to see Ronaldo starting. I really don't. I think that you have to utilise your full squad. And think he hasn't started, so what? You know what I mean? You can bring him on, try and make an impact. And to be honest, he didn't make an impact when he came on. I love Ronaldo. I think he should start most weeks, every game. But, if he's dropped, fucking hell. We don't have to, do you know what I mean? It's not a major.
Yeah, I agree with Mark on that. And as well, that he might be our best player on paper. But if we put our best 11 out on paper, and I'm talking our best functional 11, I don't think Ronaldo's in that 11. If we're talking about individual roles and how we want to set up,
interesting,
especially moving forward. And I'm not here saying, he's not one of the goats, and but I think Cavani is our starting number 9. If we're talking our best functional paper 11 on paper, and I think that's what we went for today. I think we went for a bit of a different tactic. I understand it's a strange decision, going away to Stamford Bridge, big games, sort of games that people like Ronaldo thrive off and they live for. But we made a choice that I suppose sort of worked. I personally do think we were quite poor all game. We've come away, and I think Stu saying that you're happy with a point. I think it's that I wouldn't say I'm happy. I think I'm not miserable about it. I would have been happy if we got all 3 points. I was satisfied with a 1-1 draw. The performance I think was poor, aside from a few moments of individual excellence and a Jorginho howler. I was watching and I was just like, we are so bad at football. Like, for the squad that we have, and I was sat watching it with a Norwich fan, with a Newcastle fan, and with a Leeds fan. So 3 other clubs who are worse off than we are, and they were laughing at us. And I was like, yeah. I mean, obviously Norwich are playing some fantastic football under D Smith, but yeah, I just think the performance was appalling. And the other thing I say here as well, I genuinely think I'm the only United fan, and I say this all the time, that cannot stand Roy Keane. I don't, but as soon as he opens his mouth, I'm like, please shut the fuck up. It's like his bit is like, how negative can I be? It's like, fuck me, man. Smile, that's why I liked, the thing he did, the road trip thing he did with Micah Richards.
Yeah.
Micah Richards seems to be his kryptonite. Like, he actually draws out a bit of
Do
personality.
you know how I see it now? Ted Lasso, the TV show? Roy Kent was meant to be a parody of Roy Keane. I feel like now Roy Keane is now a parody of him. Like, he's overdoing it almost.
He's a caricature of himself. And I get that, he was a hard man on the pitch and stuff. Don't get me wrong, he was a phenomenal football player. He's arguably one of our best midfielders of all time. But it's like, bro, drop the attitude. Like, you're allowed to smile. You don't need to be miserable all the time. But people get sucked into it. The same people that have posters of Tommy Shelby on their wall and think that they're fucking Peaky Blinders. Do you know what I mean? They get a hard on for this, hard man Brexit attitude. It's like, grow up.
Someone sent that. Someone clip up that bit of him saying, "You're not. What was it? You don't have to be a miserable bastard or something. Smile." Send that to Callum.
One thing, like you missed the caveat about it. The caveat was he was talking about us being a cup team for the next 2 to 3 years, and he's absolutely right. He was absolutely.
He is right, yeah. And when you say cup, that includes the Champions League, by the way.
Well, yeah, a cup, whatever the cup may be, whether it's the
people will just assume he means the League Cup or the FA Cup.
Yeah,
Champions League Cup, isn't that?
It's a cup team, and he's right. Currently, for the next 2 or 3 years, that's where we're going to be, so we can get some kind of momentum back, some kind of squad balance back. So he was kind of right, but Carragher does your tits in anyway, doesn't he? I mean, the two of them.
Oh, he's terrible.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, James, I felt like you were about to jump in on Ronaldo, but you were interrupted by Mark.
I wasn't interrupted by any means. I was just going to say, I don't think, I suppose it's already been said now, but what difference would Ronaldo have made? We created 3 chances.
I was about to say
game.
That. Yeah.
Like, if you're not, he doesn't very little off the ball to create anything for anyone else. He doesn't really create stuff for himself. He's at the point of his career where you have to put it in and around his area, and he'll do the rest.
You have to serve it on a silver platter, really.
You saw in the first half our average positions. Our back line was in our box for most of the game, for most of the first half. What's Ronaldo going to do with that? What if the ball breaks? He's going to use his tiring legs against one of the fastest centre backs in the league in Rudiger. It's not going to happen. Like, he would have done very little. I was happy with the lineup given how the game went. I think looking at it beforehand, I was a bit like, this is risky. But if you set up the way we did, we clearly didn't set up to win that game. I don't like. There was this. I get the lineup itself was quite negative, but you could have still played in a positive way with those players. They were clearly instructed, no risks whatsoever. You keep it tight. If something breaks and you're sure of it, then go for it. That's how we scored our goal. But yeah, would Ronaldo have done anything at all?
Funny you mentioned that the lineup looked negative, and you said you could have given them positive instructions. I thought we were actually well set up to go.
The first one.
I've liked the first run of the day. I'll carry on anyway because whatever. I thought we were actually set up pretty well to go take the game to them. I thought we could have high pressed them with the personnel we had. I mean, we had the front 3 of Rashford, Bruno, Sancho. They could have got and pressed their back 3. We could have had McTominay and Fred go be pressing 8s and go press their 2 centre midfielders who were, Loftus-Cheek and
the bloke who scored our goal for us, basically. Come on.
Fucking Jorginho, yeah. So we could have pressed them 2 with McTominay and Fred, and then just leave Matic to sit, and the fullbacks cover the wingbacks. We could have done that, and we could have, I thought, at least made it difficult for them, but instead we, like you said, we dropped off. We did bring on Ronaldo eventually. He came on the left, which is a bit of a weird one. Well, what did we think of that? I'll go to Connor because he's not said anything.
The thing, he was always going to come on at some point. I disagree slightly. I think he probably would have made more of an impact because I tweeted when I said that saw the lineup that we had no outball because Rashford and Sancho were clearly instructed not to run in behind. So you want someone who can hold the ball up, and Rashford and Sancho's back to goal play is not great. So Ronaldo probably would have had more of an impact, and Rashford's off the ball play doesn't get spoken about enough. It's not great. His tracking back is very poor, actually. It makes it look like he does more than he does because he sprints a lot at defenders, so it makes it look everyone's he's a real high presser. In actual fact, he isn't really. He's very similar to Bruno in the way he just sprints after players, and it makes it look like it's almost like a problem. So I think Ronaldo would have had more of an impact potentially. But then you bring Ronaldo in, you take one of the midfielders out. Now I don't think any of the midfielders actually had a poor game. I don't think any of them. Fred was the best out of the 3. Obviously, I know you said we'll get into it, but you're taking one of the midfielders out to get Ronaldo in. Would that have exposed us a bit more? I'm not too sure, but I do agree. The first few minutes, I put it in our social chat. I thought we're pressing here because I thought that's first few minutes. I thought, okay, this looks all right. And then we just completely sat back then, and clearly that was the game plan. It worked to an extent. Chelsea didn't have too many chances. Hudson-Odoi should have scored. Let's be, bar a world-class save in De Gea. But other than that, I agree with what Jamie said. I'm not happy about it. I'm more content, to be honest. It's like it's a point away. It's okay, but I mean, I just can't get over when I look at our team. I can't believe some of the football I watch at times. I'm like, look at this squad. How are we so poor? Whether it's confidence, I tweeted it, at the end of the game. Maybe it's confidence. This squad hasn't got full confidence yet. I don't know, but
I think it's exactly that.
I'm happy with a point because I didn't expect us to get one. I'm not going to lie. I thought we were going to get turned over, but I'm not, overly happy. I'm not going, right, okay, yeah, Ralph's coming in. We've got a solid point away. I'm just more kind of, okay, it's a point. We move on kind of thing.
Yeah, just before I move on to the midfielders, we'll just go through some of the comments. We're getting onto that as well. Where Rangnick will have his work cut out is the ball retention. He needs to work on that. And the midfield is not good enough. Hopefully he'll get it to work. Agree. Ronaldo's omission could be something we become more accustomed to seeing when Rangnick takes over, and he doesn't see a way of fitting him into his high energy, high pressing, all action style. 100%. I think that is something we'll see, and a lot of pundits and a lot of fans will have to get used to that, unfortunately. Bruno looked a bit lost. I thought that too. I thought he had a very, very poor game today. And look, we love bashing people like Maguire. I don't see as much criticism for Bruno sometimes. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong places, but I think he was very poor today, and he deserves to be criticised for that. Nobody misses Maguire and Shaw. Yeah, I definitely didn't miss them. But I thought Lindelof was quite poor today, apart from a couple of good moments. And Wan-Bissaka was a complete liability. So it's worrying signs still. We're getting results, but again, it's still worrying. Right, we'll go on to the midfield. Obviously, the big talking point was pretty much playing all three of our most defensively capable midfielders in the same team. And we were wondering what the bloody hell's going on here. A Matic, McTominay, Fred midfield is not something I thought I'd see in 2021 under a new manager, but here we are. What did we think? Because McTominay I thought was poor. He's not in good form. I don't think
he was man of the match. What are you on about?
That's what I mean. I don't know how he got man of the match from Carragher. Like, what are you watching?
He doesn't know his arse from his elbow, Carragher. So
I thought Matic was okay. I thought he played well. But then again, that's Matic after he's had about 5 games rest. So we won't see him for another 5 games. Fred, obviously man of the match. I thought he was fantastic. This Fred redemption's continuing, and James is going to tell me I'm wrong. Go on.
It's right. My thing with Fred today, it's the equivalent of if you shit yourself every day, right, and then there's one day where you don't poo yourself, like you're not done anything major. You're just being a bit normal.
Yeah, but it's a case of, I'm trying to stick to your analogy here. If you've not been force-fed too much food where you have to shit yourself,
right, okay,
then you won't shit yourself.
But you shouldn't be eating too much food, then, should you? You shouldn't be. You should know
sometimes it's not your choice. Someone's been force feeding you it.
Yeah, like, can't help it, Fred doesn't need too much food.
Yeah, bro, I'm lactose intolerant. I don't drink milk because it make me shit myself.
If someone force fed you milk, you have no choice. What I'm trying to say is sometimes Fred is put into positions where he has no other option and he's fucked.
He puts himself in those positions.
That's 100% ended up on out of context, by the way.
James,
go on, explain your point.
I just don't get it. I think he's set the bar so low for himself that he'll have a brief moment where he does something really like standard that you'd see fucking I don't know, somebody that plays for Norwich doing. But we see him do something very basic, and we're like, he didn't fuck up that time. Like, well done, Fred, the Fredemption or whatever people keep calling it, which again, it's giving me a ruthless ick at the minute. But
I've definitely not said that.
Is ball recovery? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think back to that game against PSG a couple of years ago under Ollie as caretaker and stuff like that, and that was the only game I've ever watched of Fred's where I've gone, Jesus Christ, like he's playing well. He was all over the place and in a good way.
I think you're being a bit harsh.
But I just didn't see it today. I think all three of the midfield were pretty poor. Matic is lethargic. There was a couple of times that he made those decent runs into, like stepped out into midfield and things like that, and looked to distribute the ball. But I just didn't see anything inspiring, and I really don't understand what game people were watching to think that Fred was excellent. I don't think anyone was massively good today. I think Jadon and Marcus in the second half were both quite good, and then they both came off. But I agree. I think that what you were saying before, the defence were terrible. But I mean, Eric Bailly managed to go a full 90 minutes without doing anything ridiculously like.
That's what
over the
I
top,
haven't
so-
checked the account yet, but I don't think there was any Eric Bailly out of context content. But I'll have to check later on. James, do you had a point on Fred? I think.
Yeah, it's about Jamie's analogy of like if you're bad all the time, being average looks good. I think he was good today, and I think the reason for it was the midfield that he played in. I think it was set up perfectly for him. It was more like the midfield he plays in with Brazil, because we know the big problem with Fred, really, he's got loads of energy, but he's so erratic. He's never in the right position when you need him to be defending. So him and McTominay, the fact they've got no discipline makes it so easy for him to play through, because they're always at other ends of the field to each other. So I think if you've got someone like Matic behind him who can hold as like an anchor, and he can go about, do whatever he wants to do, get busy, try not to be too shit on the ball, then it plays into his hands. I think a good midfield for United and going forward could possibly be get this really good holding midfielder in, play Fred and Van der Beek in front of them, assuming Pogba goes, and see what happens. I think that midfield was just missing a bit of creativity, because like will definitely be said, we just didn't have that outball. I think you play a Van der Beek in there instead of a McTominay, give Fred that freedom to go and just do whatever he does like a little crackhead, and I think it could work quite well. Obviously, Matic isn't. Stop it.
He's inching his way into that role, you know. He's made his way to a subs bench in the Premier League. Slowly but surely, he'll get there. He'll get there. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, welcome to Off United, the official home of the Phil Jones in the Six movement. This is where we push for Philip Jones to be played as a defensive midfielder for Manchester United, because clearly we don't have enough options and Matic can't play every game. So we need Phil Jones in there. Make sure to tweet us at Off United and at Mastercard Sean. Hashtag off for Phil Jones in the Six. Thank you.
Just quickly before we move. Oh, sorry. Go on, James.
I was just going to say before I was really interrupted by Karthik that basically this system works for Fred if we can get the right players in it. Yeah. Get a creative player next to him, get a solid defensive midfielder behind him, and I think we'll see a different Fred. I think we put too much responsibility on him, and he failed because of that. Whereas I think now, obviously, the sample size is so small in terms of games he's played in this specific role, but it definitely showed promise to me.
Yeah, just on that, and this is a genuine question. I'm not trying to pick holes in this. I don't have some agenda against Fred. I just think he's terrible. What do you think his best attribute is? Because you look at midfielders, right, and every single midfielder seems to have that one specific attribute that they excel at. You might get a decent all rounder, but you look at like Kante, it's his the positions that he covers, it's his ball recovery and it's his tackling, De Bruyne's passing range, Bruno's assisting and things like that. It's chance creation. So for me, like top level midfielders that we should be playing, there's no excuses why we shouldn't be playing. I'm not saying that they have to be like world class in a certain ability, but they should have that one standout attribute that makes you go, that's what they're good at. What is that for Fred? Because I've thought about this so many times, and he's not a good, he's not a good tackler, he's not a good presser, he's not good at distributing the ball. He doesn't provide confidence in front of the back four. So
to answer that, I'd refer to the pre-lockdown bit of 1920. So when we had that Pereira-Lingard team, where he pretty much had to cover the ground for about 3 players. And at the first half of that season, I don't know if it was just me, but I thought he was our best player.
He was.
He was on track to win our Player of the Year, I thought. And in that time, what he did, luckily enough, I was going to a lot of games at the time. What I noticed every single game was his tackling was good in that time, so I'd have said that, his ball recovery and the yardage that he was covering. And the fact that at that time, his passing was so simple. He'd make the simple pass every single time. He'd play a short 5-yard pass onto one of the midfielders, say Pereira or Lingard or Rashford, whoever it was, and let them go progress the ball. That was what his job was, is to win the ball, work hard off it, and just go give it to someone else. At the minute, I don't know why, whether it's because under Ollie this season, we've been trying to work towards being a more possession-oriented team, or we're trying to break teams down. He's just been trying to do too much. I feel like that's been the case, and that's just gone to his head. I don't know if it's just me. I mean, but for me, that's what I'd say his attributes are: off the ball, work rate, tackling, and playing it simple. But we're not seeing that at the minute, of course. But I don't know if anyone disagrees with me on that. No, interesting. I've made a good point.
I kind of think with Fred, he doesn't offer any competency. That's the problem with him. I like him. I like him as a player occasionally, but he doesn't offer any competency. But when he's on his game, he's a mighty fine disruptor of the opposition. What I mean by that is you don't have to necessarily do anything ball-wise to be a disruptor. You've just got to be in the right position at the right time. And basically what you're doing is you're making the opposition hurry. And that's what he's very, very good at when he's on his game.
Yep.
Problem with him when he's not in his game, he's running around like a headless chicken. He's not got no absolute discipline with where he should be on the pitch. I mean, he does get the ball. He's just useless with it occasionally. So when he's on his game, and he's a better 8 than he is a 6. And I think if Rangnick comes in and decides he wants to play a 4-3-3, which I think is our best system with the players that we've got and the personnel that we've got, I think he'll be okay in that. And I tend to agree with James. I'd sit Donny alongside him with a good, solid, whoever it may be, central midfield. But I've been talking about this for ages anyway.
Yeah.
And then with whatever you do, you have your focal point, and then you Bruno and another up front. But that's Fred's best attribute is his disruption. As I say, it's not necessarily with the ball. There's a massive misconception amongst fans, really, of football that to be a good player, you've got to have the ball at your feet. You've got to be able to beat 6 or 7 players. It's a load of bollocks. You've got to be able to do a Hollywood pass. It's an absolute load of bollocks. It's all about intelligence.
It's why people don't rate Jesse Lingard.
Yeah, exactly. And on the odd occasion, Fred is exceptionally intelligent, but he doesn't do it enough. That's his problem.
He's a player that shouldn't be playing every game. That's how I put it. If he was part of your squad and you had a better player than him, Donny van de Beek, playing ahead of him, then you wouldn't mind having him around. It's the fact that he's played every game and he's seen his errors every week. That's what. That's the.
Yeah, I can see why he was given. You've got to call it player of the match now, haven't you? You can't say man of the match anymore. It's got to be player of the match to be PC. I can see why he was. Or most fans thought he was player of the match. I don't get McTominay at all being player of the match. That was a bit of a shock to me. So I can see why some fans thought Fred was player of the match. But to me, I would have given it to Sancho. I thought Sancho was, every time he got the ball, I thought he used it well. He gave the ball away a couple of times, obviously, but once he got it, I thought he was probably our most dangerous player in terms of his creation, in terms of his determination and drive. So I perhaps would have given it to him, but I can see why people gave it Fred.
Yeah, but well, while we're on the topic of Fred, a lot of people, including myself, talk about him because we think he's one of the players that can succeed under Ralf Rangnick, and I think that's because he's got the energy for it. First and foremost, I think he will be able to handle the demands. But obviously, we discussed this in the post-match, but we'll go into it a little bit now. Who else do we think can really thrive under Ralf Rangnick, considering the fact that if he does come in and starts playing this high pressing game?
Jesse Lingard,
Van de Beek, and Sancho.
Dean Henderson.
I'll go to Van de Beek first, because I think that might be one where people think pressing. Does Van de Beek really press? Why do you think he's going to be successful?
Well, during his time at Ajax, with the formation and system that they play, they're a very high pressing team too, and he suited that. The difference between him and
nine, though, a lot of the time on that, don't forget, he played a false 9 more often than not.
Well, he played as a 10 and an 8 and a 6 during his Ajax times.
He played 30 times as a 6 during his Ajax career, but he played a lot of false 9 in the high pressing games, and the low pressing games he plays an 8 and a 6.
Okay. Well, I think that with his time at Ajax, it's going to suit him hugely, and I think that with a high press game. Look, what I was going to say was Bruno and he are very different, because Bruno is a progressive midfielder, carries the ball, whereas Van der Beek is pass and move, high press. And I just genuinely think you're going to see it. Fred, one of them, obviously, as you said. Van der Beek, another one. I really believe that he will. I think, he's because he's an intelligent player, he'll be able to look 2-3 passes ahead, know where to put it, know where to move to. And it's all, he is better in a quicker system, and I think that's why we've struggled. He's struggled with us during Ollie's reign, at least.
Yeah, fair point. Why Dean Henderson, James?
Any competent style of pressing football would mean your centre backs have to be very high, and you can't play Harry Maguire in a high line with De Gea at the back, who simply refuses to come off his line. I think that's what will set Dean Henderson apart. The fact that he's scarily eager to come off the line. It gives you mini heart attacks every time he does. But that he's there for insurance more than anything. He's not as good of a shot stopper as De Gea. Maybe even his distribution isn't as good. But that is going to be such an important part. Harry Maguire getting turned and someone going in behind. Neither Dean Henderson or De Gea are going to save the one-on-one realistically. So we need someone there that's going to stop that situation. I think Dean Henderson is going to be the man, unless De Gea suddenly has a complete switch in mentality and behaviour. Then I think it could really benefit Dean Henderson.
I think De Gea did it a little bit today, though. He came out a few times today, and
for the first time in 6 years.
I think that was because of his starting position, though.
Even still, he still doesn't do it enough. I
thought it was a streaker.
Oh, massive. Yeah, no, I'm massive, Connor. You're right. I talk about it a lot, don't I? About De Gea being stuck to his line, and James is right with a high pressing team. Although, to be brutally honest, Carl, I think you did kind of make a really good point, which is unlike you, really. But you did make a good point about what actually is pressing. And pressing isn't all about rushing around and grabbing onto your opponent. Pressing is sometimes standing 2 or 3 yards off and making your opponent make a decision. And that's really where a good, solid pressing game's about. And the other thing is right now, currently, we're not fit enough to do any kind of so-called quick pressing. We don't have that in our locker. So we've got to be a bit more cuter on how he wants to do it. And I think you'll see us be a bit more disciplined in the way that we play. I think you'll probably see the positional sense better for players. Although I would argue they should know all this anyway. You shouldn't be told. You don't need to be taught where to stand on a football pitch. You should know already. But we do need that discipline. And I think there are certain players within our squad, within our group, that are going to have to move on in the summer if the likes of Pochettino comes in or Ten Hag. I prefer Ten Hag because I think there'd be a better synergy with Rangnick. Mm-hmm. And I think Donny would love it if Ten Hag came in. And Ten Hag, by the way, Mark was absolutely right. Ten Hag can play 2 or 3 types of pace in games. He can be absolutely rapid. He can slow the play down brilliantly when we're under attack. We need to take the sting out of the game. And he can play a very moderate type of football as well. So I think he would be our better, and he would probably suit our squad a bit more than what a Pochettino would do. I think it'll be. I think it'll be quite interesting. I think if I was Maguire, I might be raising a bit of an eyebrow at the moment about what.
I was about to ask that because James asked. James made the point that you can't play Maguire in a high line in front of David De Gea. He's not going to come and sweep. Does Maguire start at all? We'll ask him himself. Slabhead, are you going to start under Ralf Rangnick or what?
Of course he will. And I think there's a misconception.
Should he though?
Probably not. But what I will say, a lot of people are expecting this Ralf guy to come in and everything to change straight away. I've been saying he'll come in and try, but I think Stu and Mark made this point on time. I was talking Friday. I think it might have been Fred that made the point actually, that we can't just go from what we're playing now to massively high press and all energy because there'll be injuries all over the place. We're not going to be doing that. So I don't think he's actually going to make that many changes, if I'm being totally honest. Yes, he's a ruthless manager in what we've seen in the past and these kind of things, but he's not going to come in and make 11 changes and all of a sudden Don is going to be the star man and Maguire's going to be dropped and stripped of captaincy and all this kind of thing.
You're right.
It will probably be a very similar team to what we've already seen, just with slight changes and things like that. So on your question about Maguire, I fully expect it'll be Varane and Maguire and Wan-Bissaka and Shaw. I would have thought. I wouldn't expect it to be much different. But I don't think Maguire should be still carrying on starting.
Yeah. His brief will be top 4. That's his brief.
Well,
that's his brief.
Maybe
just
try and go for a trophy.
And a trophy. That's his brief.
With Maguire, it doesn't change anything. Look, I do get very frustrated with people. I have the same fucking conversation every week with a particular Man United group that I'm in, another one. And they're always going into Maguire. I know he's been shit this season. All right, he has been terrible and probably needs to be dropped. But he's not a fucking bad player. Okay, and the thing is, with the high press system, it's a gradual thing, as Connor said. We're not going to see it straight away. If you're playing a high press system, you'll probably find Maguire isn't in those positions where he's having to run 15 yards to get the ball. Okay, because someone else would have moved him out to the wide areas and it wouldn't be an issue. And again, if you're next to Varane, which was a problem last year, you needed that quicker centre back, it's not going to be a problem. He's an £80 million man, okay? He is a good defender. I couldn't give a fuck what anyone says, and it shouldn't be that he's going to be in those problems.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's saying he's not the player, Mark. I think you're absolutely right. The problem you're going to have is two things. First of all, Varane is well injury prone, unfortunately, and I think we're going to see that through his tenure at United. He's going to be in and out the side unless he can get a run of games, and I think that will be the partnership. I wouldn't mind seeing a Lindelof Varane partnership. See how that goes, because I quite like Lindelof. I think he's a much better footballing player than Maguire. And then you've got what's going on.
So there's nothing. Make your point. I'll tell you after.
Okay. And so I'd like to see Lindelof have a go alongside Maguire. Probably won't. Varane, it probably won't happen. But the problem is you've got to get Varane fit. You've got to keep Varane fit. Maguire stays fit, to be fair. He's only been injured, I think, twice of any length of time since he's been with us. Maguire's got to get his positional sense slightly better for me. He's got to be a bit more stronger in the tackle. He's got to be a bit more of a more vocal leader. We'll see. We shall see. It'll be interesting.
The reason I was laughing, Stu, is because Jamie just put a message in the private chat saying, "Can I go next after your 75th monologue?" Go on, Jamie, make your point.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hybrid of what Connor and Mark have been saying. So I agree that I don't think Maguire's as bad of a centre half as everyone makes out. I think he gets left high and dry because he finds himself in stupid positions. But I think that's one down to him being a bit of an idiot at times, but also down to the fact that the coaching probably wasn't up to scratch over the last couple of years. And I think that's why we've seen him deteriorate, because he's gone from being in a pretty well coached, well drilled Leicester side, I imagine, and then he brought some of that across with him. And then we've watched that slowly drop off. But I agree. I don't think he necessarily needs to be a pressing centre half, just because we're going to potentially, transition into being a higher pressing team. Doesn't mean that every single player is going to have the same instructions of cut the passing lanes, press the man. If you've got a player like Harry Maguire, where his strengths probably do lie in his tackling and his aerial ability, even though he doesn't seem to put a header on target for us, but he can do it for England. You're going to rely on those strengths. You can press with Varane. You can use Varane to cover the space in behind if somebody does play a long ball. Maguire doesn't have the pace to keep up with them. But then what I was going to say about Rangnick coming in and making wholesale changes, I don't necessarily think that we need to make wholesale changes. I don't think there needs to be this radical, tearing up of the starting 11. I don't think the starting 11 isn't the problem. It was the coaching, it was the tactics, it was how we approached games, and it was what they were doing in the games. Like, you look at the statistics where we are in the league in terms of successful tackles, errors leading to opposition goals, and all these damning statistics. And I know I'm not one to wank over stats all the time, but things like that, where you're looking at, we conceded the second most goals in the league. There's so many issues there that are probably down to bad coaching and to people not really knowing what they're doing.
That can't be down to bad coaching, can it? Sorry, Jamie. I don't normally disagree with you, but I'm on this because we went through 16-game winning run last year. Was that all? Where's the difference? It's the same group of players.
But that's fine. But how many of those winning runs were clean sheets? How many of those winning runs did we have
It doesn't really matter. It was a winning run, but it's the same players.
If anything, Jamie, your point there, it kind of backs what Stu's saying, if you get me, because you're saying how many of them were clean sheets. Most of those games would come back and win. There's points for both of you there, because you're saying the coaching was off, and he's saying it wasn't.
My thing is that away run, right? The record-breaking away run and stuff like that, right? That was fantastic, and as a stat is brilliant. How many of those games did you sit and watch and think, yeah, we were tactically, we were fantastic. Yeah, we'd go behind every fucking time. We'd go behind, and then we'd switch it on second half FC. So my point that I'm making is that the fact that we've conceded the second most goals in the league with a back four that costs nearly £200 million. Wan-Bissaka and Maguire alone were 130 million. I don't think it's necessarily down to individual ability. You know, 2 years ago, I was having arguments with my mates about whether Wan-Bissaka was better than Trent. Nowadays, I'd barely say that he's better than Tariq Lamptey, because there just seems to have been a drop-off, and I don't believe that that's an individual ability drop-off. I think it's down to us shitting ourselves. I'm sorry to keep going back into the poo analogy. I think we shit the bed defensively. We don't seem to have any sort of command over the back four. When we concede set pieces, I get nervous every time. So I think we're going to concede here. We're either going to concede from the header, or we'll clear the ball. No one will then press the man on the edge of the box. We see it with Ruben Neves every time. He'll score a 40-yard worldie against us because nobody gets to him. So my thing is that Rangnick coming in, sorry, this has been a really long tangent. Rangnick coming in, it doesn't need to tear up the starting 11. We just need to start from the back, coach the back four, get back to basics, learn how to not shit ourselves. How many times do you see us win the ball back in our own third, try and play out from the back? And I literally sit there with my heart in my mouth every time because someone makes a mistake, and it's usually Maguire. So yeah, I think that there's probably been a drop-off of form, a drop-off of confidence. I think there's been some issues with the coaching. I don't think we've been defensively astute for the last 2 years. I mean, last season we probably flattered to deceive a little bit. But yeah, sorry, Hammer, for giving you flashbacks to your bad stomach. So yeah, so I just think there's a few little tweaks that need to be made. I think Rangnick will leave us in good stead for hopefully Ten Hag to come in. But yeah, that was
just a long one. Just on a couple of things that were said there across the panel. First, on Connor's point about making big changes straight away. I think you're spot on. You won't see a lot of huge changes straight away, purely because not even the injury thing. We don't have time. There's no time. We're playing midweek games. We're in December. We're going to have games coming left, right, and centre. So he's not going to get enough time to do it. However, he is a bit of a weirdo. He is a bit of a nerd. He will come in and do it regardless and go, shut the fuck up, we're doing it. If you're injured, I'll go call up Alanga and he'll do it for me. Like, he's that kind of guy. So I think we could see it. Whether it works straight away is a different thing. I think we might see us attempt it. Second one on the topic of Maguire, there's a bit of a discussion going on in the comments, and Jacob makes a point about Van Dijk doesn't press for Liverpool. I both agree with you and disagree with you. I agree with you in that, yeah, you don't have to be the centre back that goes and presses to do well in a pressing unit. But second of all, Van Dijk's not the guy who does that. He's often the guy who'll be the recovery, because that's where his never been dribbled past stat came from, because he'd never go and actually challenge the man. He'd recover and he'd cut off space behind and make sure that he wasn't dribbled past. That's his job. He was the last man. Maguire could be the one that goes to press and goes, whether it's a long ball coming in, he goes and attacks the ball, and the other centre back can come and recover. That's the role that Varane could play. So I don't think that Maguire necessarily is going to struggle. I think he just needs to have someone quicker next to him, and because Lindelof isn't a load quicker than him than Varane is,
really, isn't it?
It's the same issue. Whereas if it was Varane, you can go, right, Sam, Maguire, you go, I'll cover, and that's fine. But because it's Lindelof and he's not overly quick, and if it was Bailly, he's always injured, Bailly could do that as well. I think that's the issue with Maguire. But I think there's a few good points being made there about the defending. But no, decent points all around. We're about 2 minutes off the 45-minute mark. So before I go absolutely mental over whatever we're discussing, let me bring up this banner. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're watching. There's over 25 of you watching. Bloody hell, loads of you. Who are the two people on Facebook? Get off Facebook. YouTube.com/AllForUnited. Make sure you're over there. Because
one's coming over. There's only one now.
There you go. See, he's listened to me. All they, whatever. It's 2021. So we've talked about football. Speaking of football, James.
You look absolutely furious, mate. You
need to tell us.
All night.
Right,
what's wrong?
I'll keep it brief. Right.
There's no such thing as brief on this channel.
I'll preface this by saying I'm very, very unfit. Like, we played 35-minute games, and this is the first time I've played the whole way through without being subbed off, and I was knackered by the end. But we were bad, and I was having to do 3 out of the 4 people's running for outfielders. So we got smacked. We lost like 7-0, which it's not quite 9.
You're only playing 5.
Cheeky bastard. 7-0 was it, James?
Yeah. But
Okay.
not a good day. Not a good day. So we move.
Look at Stu's
Bounce back
reaction.
FC. I was going to put a tweet out on saying
We'll bounce back.
we're very sorry to let down the fans. We'll be back next week.
Look at his face.
Well, that's just embarrassing, isn't it? 7-0.
Shut up, Stu.
Where did you
Just
play,
saying.
Jimmy? What position? What position did you play?
You don't have positions in 5-a-side. You just
Well, that's probably your problem, mate.
Yeah, that's why. That's why you're not getting.
Lack of
doing everyone's
tactics
thing.
and coaching.
Do you not play 2+2?
No tactics, just vibes.
no. You just
It's like your point inside, isn't it?
Fuck's sake.
Do you play
Why does it have to
2+2
come back
games?
to me? Rent
it's
free.
three attack,
Rent-free.
3 defend generally. Leave one up at each part. It's 5-a-side. You don't need. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you don't need tactics. Just pure vibes. Ollie's at the wheel.
Is
Get
that
a
your
contract
football shirt? Is it?
No, I've had a shower and got changed. This is a clean one.
I'm glad to be able to sleep.
Stu, did you play
last night.
football?
All right. Yeah, I did. We played 9-a-side tonight. 3-0. 3-0 winners. Let's just drill down to this
That's how it's done.
this 5-a-side thing. You know, you do kind of have to tactically play 5-a-side. When we were playing 5-a-side and
It's nothing
winning,
to do with coaching, Stu.
no, true, and on quite a regular basis. By the way, do you not receive the ball from your goalkeeper short, or do you not get your goalkeeper to like throw it long, use the boards?
We switch it up. You can't get predictable.
Well, no, you're not
Well,
switching it.
you-
You're buying
you can.
it. With all due respect, what you're switching off?
Sometimes we
drilling
go
into
short,
you
sometimes
today,
we go
yeah.
long. I'm getting
The lights.
interrogated here. Jesus.
Wow. Yeah, that's good.
It's like a
I
it's a weird intergenerational date, isn't
it is. You know what you should do? All seriously, I would play your goalkeeper. I'll play you. You need 2 on the D, right and left, and you need somebody in the middle who takes the ball. He's your key to this, because if he wins it, he can drop it to you. You can flip it off to your striker if he's moving and around, and that gets you up the pitch. Otherwise, if you're kind of just rolling around in like a circle, you're not going to get anywhere in 5-a-side, dude. Honestly, it's a very easy way of doing it. And plus, don't forget, if you're left and right on the D, 2 of those are going to come and mark you anyway. So that's going to give you two strikers, or certainly your midfield one, if you can hold the ball, a lot more room in there. It's a very easy way of doing it, pal. It's not difficult.
I think if you saw the caliber of players that we have, I think you'd probably rethink trying to tell them anything. That's the only problem.
Is it bad? Is it?
Yeah, it's not ideal, but we try our hardest. Can you not come back?
Shut up! Jesus Christ!
So Karthik, we've decided you should go and manage him. You should go to Derby every night and manage him.
Okay, I'll do that. You might concede an extra 2 goals, but you know.
Wow.
I can't believe I've just listened to Stu spend about 5 minutes analysing James's 5-a-side formation.
5-a-side is not a difficult game. It's quite an easy game to play. I love 5-a-side.
Oh, controversial. Some say 5-a-side is the most difficult.
Yeah, good old Uno, yeah.
Just give me those.
That's literally Stu. That is literally him.
Say 5-a-side what? Difficult?
Yeah, it's difficult. Some say it's the most difficult game to play.
Really? Wow.
Because you're shit,
More
Karthik.
sprints. I don't say it. I don't play 5-a-side.
Well, obviously, because you're shit.
I have no friends.
Wow.
He's
got
barely
your
able
mug,
to play
that's
two
all
I'll
right.
be playing
aside.
5-a-side Monday and Wednesday this week. I love 5-a-side, I do. Brilliant.
Oh, friends. 5-a-side friends.
Anything to get away from the Wi-Fi, Stu.
What? Fucking hell. Hope she doesn't watch the channel.
She's been orienteering today actually with the girls. She does orienteering on a Sunday. It's pretty good actually. She's not bad, but the girls are just starting to do it. So she does that really, and then me and Jake, my son, he plays football on a Sunday and a Saturday, so I go and watch him.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Jamie, how much have you earned for your thingy now? Plug it.
£360, I think we're on.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, two days left. If you fancy donating a few quid before the tash goes again, the link's in my bio on my Twitter, which is
Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments.
What's this for? What's happening?
November, raising
yeah.
money for men's suicide prevention. I do it every year. And this year, I think I'm on about £360.
So
Jamie, put the link in the live chat.
Did you forget to shave it off last December then? Did you? He's been there all year.
Hey.
Oh, he's got the bants.
But obviously, it coincided with obviously these lot were saying, oh, they want to see, how long it'd take me to grow back and what I look like with that one. So when I shaved it off the other week,
I don't remember asking that.
Shut up! You were the one that was asking.
No.
Yeah, you were. Why are you lying?
I've never asked for that whatsoever. Oh, you've got one person who'll donate if you put the link in.
Lying?
Oh, what a hero!
Get that link in now.
Yeah. I will. Thank you very much.
Jacob, I used to have friends until I moved to a farm in the middle of nowhere.
That's also Karthik's origin story, isn't it?
Well, he's got friends here, hasn't he? You've got
That's where I
friends
was
in the
born,
Palace,
mate.
Jacob.
Bloody hell. That's where I was born. Jesus Christ.
You got
Indoor
friends in the
five-a-side is
Palace,
really
Jacob.
tiring. That's Fred
You're all
Woodward.
Actually, Fred, it can be. It depends how you look after your fitness.
Depends how fit you are, and it's Stu.
I think this is a comment about Stu teaching James how to play five-a-side, but Fred Woodward's gone, this is like a dodgy mentor scheme that companies try and roll out.
The thing is, I've been teaching Fred as well. Like Fred drops me emails about coaching him at five-a-side as well. So I try and keep
Does he?
quiet. No, does he bollocks?
I was going to say, Jesus Christ, what are you doing, Fred?
Because I would have coached him 2 and 3 touch in five-a-side because that's how you do it. 2 and 3 touch.
Do these same tactics apply when
We're
you're
still
not playing
talking about
football?
five-a-side.
I don't play walking football. I've never. Do you know? I want to give it a go.
Walking football.
No, James. I'd actually quite like to give it a go because I was talking.
But it's quite difficult,
I've heard this. I've heard it's quite tiring walking football, but I've never tried it. So. Oh, very
that
nice.
tickled me.
That's quite good. Yes.
Yeah, that's spot on. That well done. That's made me laugh. That
Well
spot
done.
on. You know what? I don't know what it is. It just.
You're gonna have to
doesn't
get
grow
one of
there.
those pens, isn't you? Draw in between next time.
Yeah, that'd look really good, wouldn't it? When I shave the tash off and the pen's still there, though, and it's just still this one
Wash it
little
off,
bit.
mate. I'm expecting you to have a shower afterwards, you dirty bastard.
A bit of a sharpie.
Yeah,
Then.
you tell me that you like me a bit dirty. What you on about, Mark? Also, I don't know why this link's not coming through in the comments.
Get it tattooed on. That'll do the job.
I'm still waiting for Slabhead to
I'm
shave his so
fucking-
he can actually look like Harry Maguire again. But he's
Well,
refusing to do it.
do you remember
Are
when
you
I shaved
keeping
my
it now,
beard
yeah?
off once and then you just fucking roasted me for a whole Uncut episode for having no beard? I'm not doing that again. No chance.
Why would I roll
fucked
someone for having
either way
no
then,
beard?
didn't
Have
you?
you not seen me? What are you on about? I wouldn't do
I
that.
want to see James with a beard.
I can't remember
Yeah,
you
I want to
without
see
a
James
beard.
with a beard as well.
Well, no, I presume you can't grow one, but I would.
It'll
Like
take
to
you
see-
another 12 years to grow it, wouldn't it, mate?
I would like to see that. That'd be quite comical.
He's
that.
not hit puberty, yeah, leave him alone.
Yeah, I know.
Garfield, can
hard
you
when
even
you're
grow a
only
beard?
No. But
Exactly.
I only...
Yeah. James, you're handsome enough without adding facial hair to it. Don't listen to the rest of them. They're all just jealous.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, you careful, he's a minor.
Well, call me Margaret Thatcher then. Because I'd like to screw him.
Oh, fucking hell, Jesus Christ.
Get him down
This is
to it.
this is why
channel's
people
getting
tune into
deleted.
Uncut.
Jamie, half the people watching this won't know who she fucking is, mate. Trust me.
Oh, come on, you're not
is
that
true.
old.
I won't have
Fucking
a
hell.
clue.
That is
Surely
true.
people know who Margaret fucking Thatcher is.
I should
Who
fucking
cares?
hope they do.
Dead now.
Jesus Christ. Oh, right, no, I wanted to ask this question, right? I was arguing with my missus about this earlier. Crisp butties, mint or weird?
Oh, mint every day. Nothing weird about it.
I
Oh,
don't
Stu's
tend
shaking
to
his
have
head.
them. I don't tend to have them. The missus does, and I would say they're mint, yeah. But I don't tend to have them.
Stu's going to come in with the fucking analysis of this now, isn't he?
No, not really. Just not for me. Not
Why?
for me.
Why, Stu? Go on, tell me
Well,
about
I'm
the
going to
texture
tell
of
you
the
what to
crisp.
layer a
He
crisp sandwich.
prefers beef and horseradish and caviar.
I don't like caviar. I don't like caviar. I quite like beef. I do like beef. Well, it depends what type of crisps you put in. I suppose if you're going to go and get your 50p Asda crisps or whatever they are, then yeah. But if you get your,
What do you think of me, Stu?
well, I'm just saying, what your Walkers guy?
50p Asda crisps.
Any
Well,
crisp stew goes in a sandwich.
Just
Doesn't
do
matter
it.
which ones.
But yeah, Walker's cheese and onion are elite on a crisp sandwich, though. Like they
Yeah,
just,
butter
they
with
just
it
hit,
as well.
they just hit the,
I'm
yeah,
a
but-
McCoy's
Yeah,
one.
you can't have it. I bet
Don't
they'd be
make it-
dry. They'd be
But they make
dry
them a
as
bit
sin.
soft, though.
No, that's the point. But McCoy's on a crisp sandwich is brutal because you're giving your gums a bit of baptism by fire there when you bite into one, and it's slightly jagged.
Slices your gum.
Yeah, it's got to be like a quite just a nice.
I'm either a McCoy's man or a Seabrook.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking
Fucking Seabrook. You're fucking year 6 eating packed lunches.
What's wrong with Seabrook?
I've not had Seabrook crisps since I was in primary school.
They got no flavour.
No, primary school, salt and shake.
No, they got no
Well,
flavour.
yeah.
No, what you want is the old
Felt like a
chicken
bad
and thyme.
man, you know. Felt like a bad man ripping that salt, chucking it in.
You want the old chicken and thyme, don't you? Sensations. They're about the best going at the minute.
Overrated.
How did I know you were going to be a sensations guy? Just knew it.
Exactly. Sitting there with his ties, fucking, what is it, spice chili or whatever it is.
Yeah, the sweet chili is quite nice, but the
Sweet chili, that's
the
what it's
balsamic
spiced.
vinegar and the salt, sea salt, yeah, bit of sea salt, black pepper, nothing wrong in that at all.
We need to do a
Careful.
crisp,
Gordon
tier
Ramsay
list.
will be tuning in a minute. You sack of softies.
Oh no, but yeah.
If we're talking
We need
just,
to do crisp
if
tier
we're
list.
talking just scranning a bag of crisps rather than a crisp sandwich, then yeah, McCoy's salt and vinegar, especially when you're hungover, are spot on.
Cheese, no, the cheese and onion one, whatever it's called, cheddar and
You
whatever.
need locking up, you know.
Why?
Are you picking McCoy's cheddar and onion over? No, right. If we're gonna go cheddar and onion, you have the kettle chips, the red Leicester, and the onion one. They're fucking unreal. I also like flaming hot Cheetos.
But you're having a go at me about primary school stuff. Pombears.
I love Pombears.
Yeah, what's wrong with Pombears?
Pombears are fucking one.
How is that not a primary school packet of crisps?
That's a big nibble. That Jesus
What the fuck are
Christ.
Pombears?
Who's going
What a
fishing at
Pombear?
fucking 11 o'clock at night and catching? I am.
What are Pombears and where'd you buy them?
How do you not know what Pombears are?
They're
there's
bear-shaped crisps. They're actually
they're like little bears where you bite the head off.
they're actually gluten-free and one of the plainest things you'll ever have, but they're quite nice.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
They're quite a comfort crisp. They take me back to my childhood. Yeah,
You feel like you're being cuddled by them.
What about
Yeah,
skips?
Yeah, everyone
Everyone
likes
loves
skips. Everyone likes skips. And
Quavers.
prawn
Had
cocktail
some
quavers.
quavers
I've got some downstairs. Prawn cocktail quavers. Oh, banging.
Do you remember when Walkers nearly got rid of the prawn cocktail?
Well, they should have.
I was whoa.
What? Hang on a minute. I've muted this over this.
It's a waste of a
Put them
crisp.
out of business, Stu.
It's a waste of a crisp. That is prawn cocktail.
I'm not a fan
What do
of
you
prawn
mean?
cocktail. I'm not a
Do you-
fan.
Oh, this is
It's a waste of a crisp.
Do you remember, right? And I don't, because sometimes I question myself whether this was a fever dream I had. But Monster Munch did a vanilla ice cream flavored Monster Munch. Yeah, we're talking like 20 years ago or something like that. And then they also used to do the pickled
No, I
onion.
think you're dreaming.
I never liked
you
Monster
Google it?
Munch.
I
I
think
always
you're
thought
dreaming.
Chavs ate them.
I don't remember that. Vanilla ice cream. Monster Munch.
I always used to think Chavs ate them.
Yeah, they really do.
I don't know why.
You not
But every
think
time
that-
I saw a packet of Monster Munch, a Chav was eating it.
Do you not think salt and vinegar snacker
They
jacks
did have them.
up there with the best?
Well,
I love
did
how
they
we're
exist,
having a
Mark?
crisp
Yeah,
packet,
they
by the
did.
way.
They existed.
So there you go.
Oh,
But
someone's chucked Doritos in here.
cream.
Someone's chucked Doritos in here. I don't think they're
remember.
crisps.
they're
No,
not.
they're chips. They're chips, aren't they? Chip things.
They're just nachos, isn't it?
They're nachos. They're not in the crisp debate. Sorry.
tortilla.
In the
It's an
same way that
effort, but
Pringles,
it's not a good effort.
Pringles aren't in the crisp debate either.
Why?
They're their own entity. They're their own entity.
I love
Anything served in a
Pringles.
cylindrical like tube is not a fucking crisp, is it? They don't come in a bag. It's not a bag of crisps, is it?
It's
Then
a tube of crisps.
there was always that kid as well that, like, you know, you'd have a Christmas party at school or whatever, and there'd always be the bougie bastard that had come in with Pringles, and it's just like, fuck off, we get it. You've got disposable income.
That was me.
I think the most important, the real part about the question is why were you arguing with your missus about a crisp sandwich anyway?
Oh, because I was gonna have one tonight because I couldn't be bothered making anything. So I was like, you know what, I'll have a crisp sandwich. And she went,
Right.
what? I went, yeah. And she went,
Wow.
that's weird. I never understood that. And I went,
I take it she's gone home now, then, has she, dude?
yeah, she's not here.
She's left. She's
Yeah,
left.
Because like
Yeah, the
aspiration
argument turned violent.
should be like thinking,
I've been on my own for a month. I've been free.
have you?
Yeah, free from my shackles.
Free.
What was I gonna
Don't
say?
hear that. Fucking hell. You won't
No,
see
she
him
doesn't
for,
watch it.
you won't
She doesn't
see him
watch
for
it, it's
another
fine.
month.
Someone
She doesn't watch it.
that
It's
up.
fine.
So
Right,
we
speaking
went
of
out
something else,
last night. We went out for dinner last night, me and the wife,
Monologue.
and we had And I had, we went to this quite nice country pub stroke restaurant. It was really quite nice. And she had this, I don't know, this updated korma of whatever. It's not like
Careful,
a
because she might test you on that next week. You need
What
to
korma?
fucking remember.
Yeah, I know. No, some kind of korma. She had it. It wasn't like the traditional.
Why is she ordering a
korma.
korma?
No, it wasn't the traditional korma. It was like I'm not quite sure what it was, but I had 3 weeks later. Yeah, I had chicken, leek, mushroom, and bacon pie, homemade.
Chicken leek and bacon mushroom.
Oh, it's tremendous! Absolutely tremendous.
I don't mean to be rude here, but this is so boring.
What do you mean?
What was boring about chicken, leek, and bacon?
We've been talking about crisps for
leeks.
20 minutes. I feel like a nonce.
Well, we've moved on from Chris, mate.
Well, I didn't bring the crisp thing up, did I?
I just like,
I
why
did, to be fair. That's
why
my
are we still
fault.
doing this?
What about
go
pot noodle sandwich?
7-0.
A pot noodle sandwich? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, my missus
naughty.
likes that too.
Naughty, mate. Absolutely
What?
naughty.
Who's putting noodles in between bread?
Bro, if you didn't grow up on the bread line, just say it. Do you know what I mean? That was a substantial meal back in the day. That would have got you into the pub during COVID.
Well, we already know from his Monster Munch comment that Karthik is very classist.
Yeah.
He hates them povos, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Them popos. Fucking hell. Oh.
He's got a poster of Margaret Thatcher just out the way outside the camera.
Yeah. Probably one of those people.
That's why he was so adamant everyone knows her.
Yeah. Tweets Winston Churchill pictures that have random quotes attached to them about, drive and things like that. You're one of those, aren't you? You'll be fucking dealing cryptocurrency next.
What's wrong with crypto?
Well, nothing. Just don't be a wanker.
Have you got any cryptocurrency?
Oh, I've been meaning to ask you about this.
I got hugged by my mum when I was a kid.
Why have you not got cryptocurrency? You should have a couple of £100 stashed away, man.
Do you know what I mean? I just find that like everyone I know that does stuff with crypto. This is probably like a bad sample size. Are sort of people that pretend that going to uni is a really bad thing for you. That's only because they didn't go because they couldn't get in. So now
okay, right. Let's stop there. We're not insulting people.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with not going to uni, but don't insult people for going to uni. Just because you don't want to go.
On that topic, by the way,
who's insulting people going to uni?
Oh, never mind. I was going to say the people I know that do crypto and take the ones that DM people on Instagram. They're like,
so you've got an agenda.
Are you interested in learning about crypto? It's like, yeah, as much as I'm a fucking. I don't even know what the analogy is going to say then, but no, I'm not interested.
It's probably to do with shitting yourself. Yeah. Anyway, I did want to ask you all about this. Don't worry, James. It's not about crisps. I feel like, have I asked you this? No, I don't think I have. What do we make of this metaverse?
Oh, fuck off.
Stupid. Not interested.
No, I'm not interested.
How sad do you have to be? Because I just saw someone spent millions on virtual real estate.
Yeah, I saw that. One of my mates actually at work is leaving at the end of January, but he's going into that. He's there's this other thing where there's this massive virtual aquarium, okay, and people design virtual fishes, and people spend thousands on these fish. But bro, he's making some serious money.
It's like NFTs. Money.
It's like those what is an NFT, by the way?
They're just pictures of monkeys. That's all I've seen. It's called Bored Ape or something like that. And it's just a picture, and it's just like
NFTs. Did you say?
Yeah.
Isn't it MFT?
No, NF. Like
NFT. No, I think NFT is when you put a signature on an image. So if you brand it about,
you can just save photo. Do you know?
No, but it has an author and an encryption on it, as opposed to a random image you see go around the internet.
Because it's like,
why are 22 people watching this, by the way?
And why are we talking about this bollocks anyway? Just out of interest.
Don't know. What else would we be doing on a Sunday night at 11 o'clock?
Well, that is the question right now, isn't it? Yeah,
I've still got some snow in my front garden. I want to go out and make some snowmen.
We've had no snow here.
You got any carrots?
No, zero snow.
You got any carrots?
No.
You won't be able to put his nose on it then, will you?
Jesus.
Why was that so patronising?
No,
You don't even have a carrot on your fucking snowman. What are you?
You got any
Oh,
coal
yeah, no.
or a scarf?
Have you not got any vegetables in your freezer then? In your
To be
fridge?
fair,
Yeah,
you
I'll
should have some.
find some.
You should have some coal considering you're a
Cucumber.
miner.
Baines is like, what's going on, Bainesy? Honestly, mate, I wouldn't tune in, mate. I'd go.
James has actually left. He's left.
I don't fucking blame him. I don't fucking...
Oh,
Anyway,
jeez.
Connor, why don't you tell everybody about how we were verbally assaulted the other day on the women's channel?
What happened?
Oh, right. I don't want to name people.
Yeah, you got to be
Don't name,
careful.
Don't name anyone. What happened?
Just,
But go on,
just
what
we were
happened?
verbally
Well,
assaulted. weren't we?
you know, Stu likes his opinions, and there's certain
Well,
sections.
he doesn't, does he?
There's certain sections of the Man United fan base that are really not enjoying Stu's new opinions to the women's side, and safe to say they voiced it against Stu mid-show, all in the comments.
So what did you say, Stu? What did you say?
I made a point that there was talk about this one particular player that hasn't played.
It's
And
the
I
Donny
made-
of the women's game.
Yeah, and she's an international and all this kind of nonsense. And I just made a point that maybe she's not training well, or maybe she's not fit enough, etc., etc., etc.
Blaming the players again, are you?
Well, I said maybe. I used the word maybe, and I got verbally assaulted.
What did they say to you, Stu?
Why you don't know what you're talking about? Why are you calling her crap and all this kind of nonsense? And I didn't. I just said maybe she's not training well
I
enough.
feel like you're bending the truth a little bit here.
No,
I can back Stu up, to be fair.
you can back me up. So yeah, and it carried on Twitter as well. Didn't it?
Yeah, all the indirect tweeting, that was quite fun.
Really?
Yeah, she thanks everyone else for being on the show, apart from me and Connor,
Oh dear.
because for whatever
So
reason.
what did you do, Connor?
I've done fuck all, mate.
So you've been tarnished with the same brush when doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Stu.
Yeah, well done, Stu. Why are you fighting with people? Hang on. Why are you arguing with people on Twitter?
Well, I wasn't really, because I don't kind of.
Why are you arguing with people on Twitter, Stu? What have I told you about that?
I don't argue with people on Twitter. You know that.
It gets you into
Why are you
trouble
arguing?
or sacked.
Why?
Isn't it,
Why?
Garthy?
You hang on. You represent All for United, okay?
That's exactly
So
why I
how
don't
you
argue
act
with
on
anyone
social
Twitter.
media
Yes, I
has
know.
an effect on how people view us.
Oh fuck, John's
Sure.
Oh no, right, John, we're not bringing that comment up. Just in case.
I don't argue with people on Twitter, Karthik. I know somebody who does, because I tend to search Twitter for that one particular person every day just to see if he's got in a beef with somebody. Because normally it's quite funny.
Rent-free.
Yes, normally it's quite funny if that one person gets into a beef with somebody. It's normally quite good.
Yeah, James, why are you always getting in beef with people?
It's purely fun.
For the banter.
Take some weird pleasure out of it. Just
John,
knowing
John,
that
you're
you make other people uncomfortable.
Hang on, before you
Sorry
say
about
that,
this.
Stu, Connor was about to say something.
No, I was going to say Twitter beefs are quite funny as long as you're not in them.
Yeah, that's right.
It's quite funny.
It's nice to observe, isn't it?
Twitter beefs. My fucking phone the other night, because of Mr. Biggs, fucking exploded.
Why? What
Honestly,
did you do?
it was,
Oh, yeah,
honestly,
fake rumours, wasn't it?
steam was coming
It weren't
from-
fucking
Oh,
fake
right.
rumours. It wasn't fucking fake rumours. Listen.
It's still going on now, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Like
I know. I do apologise for that, Stu. But let me tell you, right? It was. I'm not going to go over it in great detail. All right. I don't know if it's true. I'll hold my hands up, but I couldn't give a fuck what anyone else thinks.
We'll throw an allegedly in there.
I saw this. I saw this thing, and I wanted to believe it, and I wouldn't put it past it if he did do it. So fuck you all. I'm believing it, and I'm sorry about your phone, Stu.
Where did you get
I
it
believe,
from?
I believe
Allegedly.
you, Mark. I believe you.
Where did you get
Thanks,
it from?
mate.
Who are we on? What are we on about here?
Don't say it because it'll just
Crisps.
a 1 hour discussion.
Crisps. We're all about crisps.
Ollie,
okay.
don't
I was
do
going to
it.
ask. I was going to ask a very
Yeah,
wholesome. I was
charity.
going to ask a very wholesome question before Stu came in with his Twitter beef and arguing on Twitter. But here's my question: what do you all want for Christmas?
The fucking
Ooh,
will
Jamie.
to live. Oh, yes, anytime, darling. Anytime.
Those two are both interlinked there.
Yeah.
Oh, Christmas. I don't know, because I got asked that question the other day, and I haven't got a clue really. I'm not quite sure.
You want socks, don't you, at your age?
No. No, not the socks and pants. No, I don't really know what I want. For
Temmy's
Christmas.
here. Subscribe to the
thing is,
Movie
mate,
Ball Hub.
Hey, Timmy.
The thing is, mate. Hello, Tammy. You're right.
How many
boys.
subscribers is he on now? He was saying he wanted how many? I can't remember. Just go subscribe to him. Anyway.
I don't know.
I think what happens is, and I think men are just terrible to buy for. Like, my
Yeah.
missus asks me this every year, and I'm like, I don't know, babe. Whatever. And we're just difficult to buy for. But we probably end up getting some socks.
I will get socks, and I'll probably get some aftershave because it's easy, isn't it? I'll
A
probably
link set. Fucking hell, Beansy.
Can't afford links.
You know, if I
He needs to save for his caviar.
I hate caviar.
James, you're the young one here. What do you want for Christmas?
Yeah, what
Well,
do you want, James?
if I can't have Jamie, then I'd happily take Stu's. I'd take Stu's approval this Christmas. That'd be really nice.
You've already
all I
got
ever
that.
worked
Old,
for.
you've already
Oh.
got that, fella.
Even after the 7-0.
Yeah, even after 7-0. Don't you
Oh,
worry.
Thanks,
You're
Dad.
all right, pal. You're all right. Links,
Well,
Anyway.
end the episode.
Links Africa's not.
no,
really.
that's-
I'll tell you what you do want to get, Bainesy, some rapport. Now that's back in the day.
Eh?
Or
What?
rapport.
I thought you meant
deodorant.
rapport between our peers then. I was like, what?
Rapport
You have that?
deodorant. Rapport deodorant.
Poor
Fucking
Bainesy.
Google that.
He's quite good at chatting.
I was uncalled for.
I was going to say, bloody hell,
Well,
shit.
you know.
You're getting a
sorry,
little bit
lads.
fucking a bit savage, aren't you? You want to get some
Ah,
friends, Beansy.
I
That's
have me
what you need.
moments. I have me moments, lads. I have me moments.
Bloody hell. How can one become a contributor, says Vipul Vij. Message.
Do you really want to?
You have to do unspeakable things to Ben.
Oh, Jacob Oldspice. No, Jacob. I had a
Hang on, let
candidate-
me answer his question, Stu. He wants to join the
sorry,
channel.
Sorry.
Bloody hell. Message one of us, not me, on Twitter, and they'll get you in because,
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm just never going to reply to you. Put it that way. So message Slabhead. He'll reply to you.
Because you're always in the Twitter beef, that's why. Jacob, I did have
I
a
don't
can of
argue
Old
people on
Spice
Twitter.
last year. Yeah, I did have a can of that. It's all right. It's all right, Old Spice. I tell you what, boys.
The adverts are fantastic.
It is. It smells like 1950s misogyny.
It's
it
more
smells
the
like
70s.
shit.
To be fair, it's more the 70s. It was big in the 70s, Old Spice. Same as Brute. Big in the 70s. Old Henry Cooper.
Brot just reminds me of my granddad. He used to have Brot.
I thought it'd be tougher than doing unspeakable things to Ben. Okay.
They thought he'd have to do unspeakable things to you. That'd have been fucking hard.
No,
Easy
those
with
are
Ben.
very speakable. You'd want to speak about that stuff.
Also, just
I've got-
to run it back so I can plug this again. If anyone does want to donate to my Movember, well, let me put the link in the comments. But it's just on my Twitter bio. My Twitter's there. Much appreciated. Even if it's just 50p, everything helps. Thanks.
It's
I've
an
got
elaborate
20p
plan
here,
to get
I think,
followers,
yeah.
isn't it?
Got 20p
Yeah,
here.
no.
Yeah,
It doesn't let you pay
post it
unless
to
you
me.
follow me. So follow me first.
Yeah,
Well, they'll need to follow him to message him.
Jamie Andrews to be on Twitter. Thank you for my 3,000 followers, everybody, or 2,000 followers, whatever he's got, everybody. That's what he'll be doing.
When have I ever done
I feel
that?
like that was
Taking a
too specific
Yeah,
to
I
be
know, I
random,
know.
Stu.
I was gonna say he's been.
It just made me
I
fucking
feel,
laugh.
I
that
feel, I
was
feel like you've got that from somewhere, and I'm not going to say
Yeah.
where you've got that from.
it appeared on my timeline, and I started laughing.
We're not going to go into that. We're not going to go into that because we don't do that here. Not that person
we
will be
don't.
watching because we're not a big channel.
Just-
Anyway. Anyway, Slabber's laughing, encouraging me. You shouldn't be doing that. We've got 10 minutes till I end the show, and to be honest, I don't have to end the show. There's 20 people fucking watching it, so tough
Why?
luck, you five.
Yeah, why?
We're still going.
Why?
I've got a
Why
question.
do people still watching it?
Go on then, James. You've got a question.
Where's Callum? I think that's
Shouldn't
a
you
good
be asking
question.
Callum that?
Probably
Where-
running
where
around
is-
the round.
Well,
Yeah,
Oh, no,
I
wasn't
would
he
ask him
working?
to if he was here.
He's
was
doing Amazon
working.
deliveries.
Yeah, he was doing Amazon deliveries.
Oh,
and if he
yeah.
hadn't finished.
Hey, what if he delivered my Amazon package
Is
today?
Carl doing Amazon
Oh, I
deliveries
didn't
now,
see
is
it.
he? Is Carl doing? How long's he been doing Amazon deliveries then, Carl?
When
I
his
don't know.
crypto went bust.
Hey, it's when I saved his NFTs and sold them.
when he lost his virtual fish.
What
I
is
don't-
this, by the way? Oh, shit. No.
Do they do quite well, Amazon delivery drivers? Because you see loads of them floating around, don't you? And the Just Eat guys. You see
They
what's
do, they do even better if they steal your parcels and sell them. I think
Yes.
that's where the real money is, which I'm pretty sure they do to me all the fucking time. Like, we tried to deliver your parcel. It's like, no, you fucking didn't. I was sat next to the door the entire time. You just trying to shit.
I'm not laughing at you, Jamie. I'm laughing at
I know,
comments.
exactly. Which trying to distract from what's just happened. Also, Jacob talking about fisherman's friends. Fisherman's friends are also good for other things as well. If you know, you know.
Okay.
So sorry, everyone.
I'm so sorry about that one.
Good
So
for
sorry,
clearing your
everyone.
throat when it's full of dust when you've been down pit.
Yeah.
Actually, James, it gives you a bit of energy on the five-a-side pitch, mate. Which you clearly like.
I'm going to need more than a small tablet here. I'm going to need straight up speed.
Fred Woodward. Fuck you. Also, Hammer's back here. Just realised how delayed I was. What do you mean? What was he delayed about?
Yeah, he's on Ahmed's Wi-Fi.
Also, what did whoever wasn't on last week's Uncut? What did we make of Ahmed analysing Manchester United from being 2 years old?
From 2 years old, wasn't it, or something?
Oh yeah,
That was quite funny.
well, I like Ahmed. He's yeah, I like him.
He's sound.
Was this Uncut last week?
Yeah.
I missed it entirely. I'll go and have a watch.
What do you mean you missed it?
I
Why
was
didn't you watch it?
my missus Nan's very, very ill in hospital, so we weren't here last week, so I had to drop out.
All right, sorry. sorry.
He
Sorry, Mark.
looked so angry, didn't he?
Yeah,
What do you
he
mean you
did.
fucking missed it, you prick?
Look, this is my unangry face. Actually, I look angry a lot. I didn't get to go boxing this weekend, so got a bit of pent up aggression.
Hang on, we've got a football question. Hang on. Vipulvij, any idea if who's Ralf Rangnick? Sorry, I thought you were talking about the Rajasthan Royals then for a minute. Will be announced tomorrow. Heard some people say he might not be announced in time for the Arsenal game. Seems a bit odd. Yeah, he will be. Of course
He will be.
Probably
He'll be in the
tomorrow.
next 48 hours for sure. I think it's done, isn't it?
James
I
is a
think,
journalist. He's an ITK. You tell us.
It's work permit issues, isn't it?
I saw some tweets today by several journalists suggest that Fletcher was getting something in the ear.
Yeah. Can I address that, by the way?
I don't know if that
what is
would
this
be him or
stupid
not, but-
narrative that people are going, oh, did Ralph pick the team? And, oh, was he ringing Fletcher on the touchline? Like, what? Shut up. He's not even been announced yet.
That's what Neville said. Well, Eric Bailly dropped it in, didn't he? Because Eric Bailly said
He did, yeah.
in the post-match interview, we've been told of the new manager in the dressing room.
Yeah, he literally just he says it black and white, didn't he?
What?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He says it black and white, and he was asked in an interview, and he said, "Oh, we've been told about the manager."
But rumor
Must have
has
been
it.
told about him.
Rumor has it that Fletcher was listening to Paul Young. He likes Paul Young apparently, and that's who he had in his earpiece.
Rumour has it Darren Fletcher was listening to the All for United Uncut podcast, which is available on YouTube if you subscribe.
Also, why did Darren Fletcher and Kieran McKenna look so alike? It really pisses me off because there's a very specific.
Have you got cataract?
Nah, there's a very specific picture from a couple of months ago where there was like a charity.
Let me
golf
find
day.
it.
There's a picture of like Johnny Evans with Solskjaer with Fergie, and I can't decide whether it's Darren Fletcher, and it makes more sense for it to be Darren Fletcher, but it also could be Kieran McKenna.
Fletcher's taller.
But when they're not stood next to each other,
Yeah,
Hang on, let me
you
find
can't
something.
tell. You can't tell
Isn't
someone's
Fletcher
height in a
grey?
photo.
Isn't Fletcher got grey hair? No.
oh, you'll see what I mean by this photo. It probably is
Fred's
Fletcher,
on
I'm
it
pretty
tonight, by the way,
it
in
is.
the comments.
I do have a
Fred is
question,
on
a
it.
serious question.
What has he said?
Why was the technical director?
Rumour has it
doing the-
2-year-old Ahmed was giving Fletcher
on the golf.
Oh, that was it. Fuck, so I've forgotten about it. Yes, it was his age. He said I was watching football at 2. I just remembered.
What did you think I was talking about 5 minutes ago?
The way Connor said it, he said he was analysing the game from 2 years ago, and Connor probably said when he was 2 years old. But
I black and white said it.
I forgot about that because
So clearly you weren't listening to me.
Well, when do I ever? You know what I mean? When do I ever listen to you?
All right.
Like you really. Love you really, mate.
Bit mean. All right, anyway.
Oh,
we've still got 11 people. I don't have to end this yet. I usually only end it when it's below.
Have you got the
10.
pictures so I can have a look?
I don't have it.
Oh, okay.
Jamie, find it.
Oh.
You're not
Sorry, I
asking
mean,
for his nudes again, are you, Stu?
No.
He said, you got pictures? Can I have a
is
look?
that me or was it?
Oh god, something's going on.
He won't
Right,
send them
anyway,
to
we're
me.
okay. Digressing a bit here. Welcome to the show. Do you guys expect us to get a W versus Arsenal? They've been our bogey team recently and performed decently. Before I answer that question, why did you think digressing would be a problem in a show where you've just watched us talk about crisps for 20 minutes? Yes, I do expect us to get a W.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
I do. Jacob says lol. I don't know what he's laughing at, but lol. I'll leave so you can all leave. Whoa, no, don't do that.
Thank you.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Knowing Jacob, he's probably leaving to go watch another channel.
Oh, where have you seen him then?
No, I won't say it.
Okay.
Saeed.
Everywhere.
No, it was. Oh my god, it wasn't. It wasn't Saeed.
He's
It
a
was-
fan
it was-
channel slut.
He literally is, you know, and he's paid for that other channel.
It was what, Mark?
He's
a fan channel slut.
He is. Jacob is. He pays for.
What, is
he
he-
literally pays other channels.
Eh?
Like what? He watches United content on OnlyFans.
No.
That's not a bad
He's
chat.
a paid member on other
Right,
channels.
United content on OnlyFans.
He's a paid member. Maybe we should start charging Jacob to watch our channel.
We like Jacob though, don't we?
We literally we take any viewer we can get. We're literally desperate. Why would we risk him going?
Especially on this channel. Jesus Christ.
No, it's
Can't-
true.
okay, I'm not falling for that one, Fred. I'm not falling for
No,
that one.
he's trying to get you tonight, isn't he?
I nearly
I'll
said
tell you
it
why
as well.
paid.
I nearly
Come on
said
then,
it as
Jacob.
well.
Tell us why you paid, Jacob.
No, don't
How-
tell us. Don't
How
tell
many
us. We're not
minutes in
getting
was
cla-
he
was joking.
Uncut last week? How many minutes in?
Eh?
How many minutes in on Uncut last week?
What?
I don't know. I can't
Oh, for
remember.
fuck's sake. You were talking about what had happened on last week's Uncut. How many fucking minutes in
I don't
was
know.
it?
I don't know. It's uncut.
How good do you think my memory is?
Take your
Exactly.
medication, Mark.
Hey, what'd you say?
Nothing. Go on.
Put your hearing aid in, Mark. Right, Jamie. Jamie needs to. Why have I just flicked you there? Right, Jamie
Go,
needs to
Jamie.
go.
See you, fella.
I need to jump off. Lovely to see you all. Enjoy the rest of your.
Right, shut up.
See you then.
Fred Woodward
The
with the
poor
comment of the
bastard.
night so far. I'm not going to read the comment. I'm not.
What, can you get it up then? So I
No.
can look at it in the night.
No. Just scroll up.
Vipple,
You'll
just
find it. Starts with
copy
Carthix.
and paste the comment,
That's
Vipple, so we can have a
I'm not
look.
reading it. I can't do that from here, Stu. Why is 16 people? No! Oi, right, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Not with that one. Not with that one. No.
No, we're good on this channel, aren't we?
We were until someone started messing about. Carthix can't get it up. Damn sorry, man. No, fuck's sake. Fuck's sake.
Jamie, how did Point get on today, Karthik, or didn't you play?
We didn't play.
You folded it now yet or not?
Nope, not yet. We were going to have about 15 people today, but the opposition had a COVID outbreak, so
Oh, right.
unfortunately, no. I'm actually not very available this month.
That's no
I'm the
excuse
only-
in Portugal, is it?
Clearly not. I actually might not play too many games this month because I'm the only permanent member of staff in my bloody shop, so I'm working
yeah.
near enough every day.
Oh, right.
It's ridiculous. I've got a question here. What is it? Fred, how many minutes?
Oh,
Oh,
no,
no.
no.
No, I've dealt with that one, Carl.
Yeah. Fred's trying to get me cancelled here.
He's got to
Oh
get
my
me
God, right.
kicked off as well.
10 points to anyone who can pronounce this name. Maxwell Ugo Chukwu Nwanjoku. Sorry if I've messed that up, right? Sorry. Have Man United, I don't like Man U, confirmed their new coach. No, they haven't yet, Maxwell. Welcome
Yeah, welcome.
to the channel, by the way. Your new name, subscribe. I've lagged while I was welcoming you to the channel. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're back
Welcome
now.
to the channel.
Standard.
Welcome to the channel.
So, somehow we got up
They
to
have not
18
confirmed
again.
it yet. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What is going
Hey,
on?
James, lads, you're a bit younger than me. My lads... asked me to get-
Bit, for
Yeah, well, all right.
fuck's
It's that
sake.
young, yeah. Air Jordan, low cut ones. Any ideas
I just spit on him as soon as he said it.
What, Air Jordan?
Just stamp your authority. He shouldn't be making demands to you. He lives in your house, so.
Well, yeah, I know, but I do. Trust me.
He cooks your caviar.
I don't have caviar.
All right, beef and horseradish.
Mark, Connor knows I'm common, don't you, dude? Common.
I wouldn't say common. When the first time you picked us up, you were like, "Oh, I've decided to take the Seat today. I could have had the Audi. You got two cars."
I
wouldn't say about common.
Oh, all right. Well, you know.
Fred's in with a fantastic comment again. Yes, they have. It's got 32 seats and 10 wheels.
Is Fred been on the beer as well?
Probably. Jacob's telling me how to pronounce the name. Apparently it's Chuku. So sorry about that if that's right. So it's Ugo Chuku. Nwanjoku, I'm assuming. I thought they say it's before Monday. Well, I think it would be on Monday, to be honest. I think you'll see a.
Do they have to? Haven't they got to announce it actually to the
tomorrow? I've liked. Joined in a bit late, so missed your thoughts on the game. Thought Carrick did what we expected, set us up not to lose. Yeah, we've discussed that. Make sure you go watch it back. Gives you an excuse to get off. Watch time. That explains a lot. You trying to get me. But wasn't he the one that tried to rename the Uncut show as well? I swear, a couple of months ago, he suggested a new name for it, and it was very similar to another podcast that has no structure. Fred has a gas leak.
I don't know.
Yeah, he does have a gas leak. I think it was.
By the way, Fred is better looking than Mark. I know that much.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, even Connor was swooning up to him the other night.
Well, when Fred comes on the channel, he's got like a shirt on. It's all like nice. He's all well dressed when he comes on the channel.
And you were flirting with him yesterday, weren't you, Connor?
It's only because this channel hasn't broken his spirit yet. Still new.
Yeah. We were all dressing smart at the beginning, weren't we?
You lot are trying to get me cancelled, aren't you? Fred loves it. Fred loves trying to get me cancelled.
Yep.
Try to rename the show something. I'm not going to say it.
Something.
Something related to that. Anyway. Yeah.
Fred, that wasn't me. Take a compliment. Come on.
You could nick his idea and call it Carthix Cuppa.
Carthix Cuppa. Jesus Christ.
Sounds better as well.
I mean, fuck it. He's not watching it, is he? Yeah, it could be Carthix Cuppa.
He is. Yeah. We are massive.
Have you seen?
Right, boys, I'm going to go. Sorry, mate. I've got to get going.
Oh, convenient as Fred just puts that comment about you.
Yeah,
what did he put?
Yeah.
I was about to go and knock him out, but now I've seen that, I'll stay.
No, I'm not. Have you seen Mark's Toy George pic? Gorgeous. What picture is this? Send it to me. Shut up.
I haven't said anything.
Stop reading the comment.
No, why can't I? The comments are quite good at the minute, actually, to be fair.
For anyone wondering, it was that. Anyway.
Carthix Brew,
Did you guys watch
What's the significance of that, Carthix?
Let's not get into it. It's a very similar show name to another show.
I know. I was being facetious, pal. Sorry.
I can't remember who it is, but
No, not me.
16 people are still watching this, and Mark needs to go home. Right, Mark, get lost, go. Leave.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, boys. Love you all.
Shut up, Mike. Anyway.
Yeah, well, I
love you all, and I'll see you soon.
See you, Mark.
What was that?
I might have to follow suit, actually. It's
Stu?
11:30, isn't it? Yeah. So, thank you for having me.
Is Stu going as well?
You may as well end the stream.
Yeah, I've got to. I haven't spoken to my friend Connor today. He's been ignoring me all day today, so I'm just. I messaged him earlier, and he hasn't come. He hasn't come back.
Oh no, hang on.
You don't message me.
Well,
he doesn't reply to me either.
Yeah. I do reply to you. You just don't read it. I do message you occasionally, James.
Yeah. No, your messages to me are in response to, are you available for the tactics video this week?
Well, you get a message back.
Well, I want to know how your day's been, Stu.
Oh, well,
he's too busy ringing me. We have a daily phone call, me and Stu.
It's easy. Working from home, it's dead easy. It's you know, if I need half an hour, I go and whinge to Connor.
Any Indian viewers will know that's already taken, so that's not gonna happen. Anyway,
Coffee with Connor.
Too many cases.
Go on, Stu.
I like it.
Go on, Stu. Go
Bye,
away.
boys. See you later.
Bye. That's the 3 best ones now. Are any of you gonna fuck off?
I'm gonna have to soon. I've got work in.
Carpal. Carpal with Karthik.
McCann's like that one.
Coffee with Karthik. Bloody hell, we're getting into niche markets here. Right, go on then. Go on. All of you go on. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'll do it myself. That's what we'll do. Just me and this empty mug of whatever it was with 15 people. You've got me for 10 minutes. What do you want? Yeah, I am a poser. I'll talk to the comments for 10 minutes, 5 minutes even. You've got me for 5 minutes. Ask me whatever you want. Ben's watching this, by the way. Jesus Christ. He's going to wonder what went on. I can't believe you're actually staying on, says Connor. Yeah, well, I am. So why not? Comments, talk to me. Lagging all over the show. Are we still lagging? Is that what's happening? Why is it the comments just go dead now that it's just me? What's going on? Where you lot were yapping away? Oh, the viewers have gone down. Once they've seen it's just me, they've just decided to all fuck off. Go on then, let's see how low you can get. Go on, all of you fuck off then. 11, 12. It's gone up again. 12. This is shit. I need to end the show, don't I, really? If no one asks me anything interesting in the next one, stop. Stop. Get it off the screen now. Get it off the screen now. Jesus Christ. Get it off the screen. Thank you. Right. Jesus Christ. Can you recite the entire Greek alphabet? No, I can't do that. Beta. I don't know what comes after that, to be honest. I don't even know. Oh, this is terrible. Right, I want to end the stream. James, you need to behave yourself. Any other interesting questions before I end the stream? Hit me. Hit me with anything you want. I can see James is typing. He's going to ask me a stupid question in the live chat. He's smirking as well. Jacob's going. See you, Jacob. Probably on another channel's comments. Do you have work tomorrow? Yes, I do. And that's a stupid question, Fred. So I'm going to end the show now. Cheers for watching. This has been a fantastic All for Night Uncut. I'm lagging all over the place, so it's probably a sign for me to get going. Thank you for joining us for the crisp debate. Everyone tweet about the show. Do me a favor. Everyone tweet about the show. It would really be very lovely of you for you all to tweet the link to this show. Share it on your Twitters. Tag me. Tag All for United in it. We're growing. I want us to keep growing, so make sure you do that, and it would really help us out. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you comment what you thought about the game. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll see you later on in the week for more shows. I think weekend reviews on tomorrow. I think. Possibly. Should be. So tune in for that, and I'll see you next week for All for United Uncut. Until then, tweet me, hashtag Phil Jones in the 6 at Mr. Catch United. And yeah, we could still win the Champions League, I think. Ralf Meister General's country.